Okay, so adjusted the exposure really quickly. Hopefully it's all right. I guess I could actually screen record just in case, and we'll kind of go and look at this. So let me make sure brightness is up a little bit. There we go. And get into this. So we have a little wave clip from Hawaii, and as you see, it's playing, and say we want to trim that a little bit. Now, right here, we have the little tools, right? See the little area right here to trim it, but it's not highlighted. And why isn't it highlighted? Let me see. Let's make sure this is selected. Now that it is highlighted, so that's good. We can trim it, undo, so not too bad, but say we have volume depressed down here. Now guess what? If we're trying to trim it and we're looking at our volume control, that disappears. So it may seem like not that big of a deal, but I had that thing highlighted because I wanted the volume to be shown, to be able to see what was going on. And one would think you're just trying to cut the clip and trim it, but you cannot do that unless this is not toggled. So there's just little things that don't seem very intuitive to me. But let's go ahead and add just a random clip. Here's another clip. We're going to go ahead and play it. And one of the things, it just seems not very simple in the layout and the design and the intuitiveness, as I said. Like this, for example, we can go ahead and see. Boom. Nothing crazy, just a little wave clip in Hawaii. So say I want to put that there, and I think, there we go. I can append it into the timeline, so that's pretty cool. So say I want to lower the volume, right? I would go ahead and lower the volume. So we're there, we got rid of the noise, because we would use music or something, or the sound of the water. Now we want to slow it down, because this is shot in 240 frames per second on a GoPro, and how do we do that? So now, this is a real life example. Do we go into, we could get out of volume. Let's go into inspect. So inspect is clip speed. So here we go. So let's go ahead and, I think there's an automatically retime, and it brings it to 13% clip speed, and let's see what happens. So that worked out kind of cool. Even the little bubbles kind of get trippy and a little weird looking. So I'll stop that, and then we'll trim it, delete it, and of course any program you got to get familiar with, but to me, this does not seem like something, even though I played with it for a teeny bit, and this isn't my first time using it, even though I still am not sure where everything is and how to use everything, because I just use it that little. It would get a little bit easier to use, but I still don't feel it has that intuitiveness like a LumaFusion. Like if we go to LumaFusion, for example, I'm not going to stay in here long, but we can easily scrub the timeline, and you have it selected. You have your tools down here, little scissors, trash can, you know, copy and paste your attributes, all that kind of stuff. So it's very intuitive for the most part. Double click a clip, double click a clip. Come on. Why are you not working? Double click. Come on. There we go. So I don't know what was going on there, but double click a clip, and then it brings us into color and effects. It brings us into stabilization. So essentially all you really know or need to know in LumaFusion is to double click the clip and what's down here. Not, of course, that's it, but these are kind of the basics. So it's pretty intuitively laid out, And let's get back in the Final Cut Pro. And now we have, you know, multicam down here and some stuff. But let's go ahead and just kind of get some color to this. Let me try to expand this window. I don't know how to do it. I think we have to hide that. There we go. This, I believe, is to scrub. I do like this little feature. So say we want to take a little hero shot of the frame, and now we want to colorize it or color grade it a little bit. What do we have? Video effects. So now we have to basically add a video effect, and I think that's what we do. So color adjustments. So it's kind of a weird thing. We got to add a color effect. We have this right here. We can try to do an enhance light and color. That didn't do much. That made it worse in my opinion. So maybe we want to saturate it a teeny bit because GoPro files are kind of lame. Maybe we want to cool it down a little bit with the warmth. Something like that. Maybe we want to not have it so saturated. Maybe we want to lighten the shadows a teeny bit. Where are you? Shadows. Maybe we want to do the black point a teeny bit. I don't know. But something in that realm. It's not going to look perfect, but you can see this is where they're going to be hidden. So the color adjustments, again, if we go back, are in effects. So here, well, let's go to edit. Got kicked out of there. Click the clip. Come on. I don't know what's going on with my pencil. Come on. There we go. So we go to inspect. We go to this little area, which, you know, whatever, isn't super intuitive to me. Color adjustments, after we add an effect, and now we have this over here. We can disable the color. We can reset it. We can undo that. And we can kind of go and look at what it's doing now. So let's go ahead and look. Now how do we get into full frame? Maybe over here. Okay, full screen. So let's go ahead and look again. So parts of it do feel somewhat intuitive, and parts of this program don't feel great. I personally don't really enjoy working with Final Cut Pro on the iPad. I love it on my desktop, on my Mac Mini, and that's that. So what else can we do? Let's go ahead and to this little area. So now we have to kind of go where our media is. I think it's this. No. And this is like an area where you have your effects and transitions. It just seems like everything's tucked away in a weird place and not easily accessible. Again, we go into LumaFusion. If we want to add a transition, we simply, let's go over here. Select the clip, go here, the plus sign, and add transition. Boom, done. So it just is easier, in my opinion. You have everything here, hit a plus sign. We have voiceover, transition, blank clip, main title, overlay title, adjustment clip, which is really great. That's a new feature in LumaFusion. But here we have to kind of go select the clip and then select this and then go and hit an effect, go into here, you know, decide what we want. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like something that I would want to get into. Like, let's go ahead and add a transition just to see how that works. So maybe just anything, see what it does. So we have some of these basic transitions. What can we pick? I mean, cross dissolve, boom. So select that. Oh, it's not even downloaded, so we got to download it. Now, how do we add it? Hold on. There we go. So we'll play it. Yeah, I don't know. This is just a quick little sample of Final Cut Pro and personally why I don't really enjoy it. I mean, again, we can go to DaVinci Resolve, which is a workhorse of an application, and I can hammer through anything project-wise. And here, let's go and look at one. So here, say we have, you know, a video like this that I edited. So we have boom, full screen, all kinds of nice little easy, you can speed ramp it. Of course, you can do that in Final Cut Pro, but it just is much more professional in here, being able to go into your color area, have all kinds of color control, your clips, our library full of stuff. We got LUTs, we got everything right here. And we can go into the inspector, boom. We have transitions, titles, effects, and you just drag and drop whatever you want. So both DaVinci Resolve and LumaFusion are way stronger, in my opinion, than Final Cut Pro. For some reason, they don't seem to be able to get it right. Even Photoshop on the iPad Pro absolutely sucks. It's such a super weak program compared to, say, Lightroom or Snapseed even. And there's that. So we'll go back into Final Cut one last time. This is going to be kind of a short video just to kind of say that this is not my favorite piece of software for editing. We can go ahead and get back to the clip section. Say we're going to drag a drone clip in. We can go over here. So we can append it. There we go. Let's see. We can go then select it, and then we can go into inspect. Then we have to add a video effect, which is, again, this whole thing just does not seem like something I would want to fart around with. We can try the enhanced whatever, the auto kind of thing. Let's go ahead and just, yeah, warm it up a teeny bit, maybe cool it. I don't know, depending on what you want. And I don't know what I want, but I just know that I don't enjoy this whole vibe with Final Cut Pro. And I don't know if you can add a LUT. I'm sure you probably can. Add a mask. Let's see back here. Add, distort, stylize, pixelate, vignette, add noise. You can mirror it. So this is where you can do like little effects apparently. We don't want that. So you can kind of get it in the range. I don't know how you would sharpen it, for example. So let's try to do that as just something that I would want to do in my application. I think I'd want to lighten the shadows a teeny bit. What else? Contrast maybe. Just kind of hone in a little bit. And again, let's try to find where we would actually sharpen it. Maybe it is in here. Mix, no. So we could probably lower the opacity of the effect that we just did with this big adjustment, but we don't want to do that. Add mask. No, don't want that. What's over here? Final Cut camera transfer, no. This is where we have our library and clips. What's over here? Transitions, effects, so maybe under effects. Let me see. Time code, directional, sharpen. Okay. So now how do we add it to here? And then we have the sharpening. No, where do we have it now to adjust it? So we have to see where that will be. We have this selected. We should have just dragged the sharpening thing to that. Okay, so here it is. So this is where we can sharpen it and add the amount. So it's just a different layout of everything. And again, it just does not feel as intuitive as a LumaFusion or Resolve on the iPad Pro. It doesn't mean you can't do it, of course. You're seeing we're able to actually edit and sharpen and add a color adjustment, but it doesn't feel as professional. Now again, on the desktop, it feels completely professional, and I think it's just kind of a not so ideal program to be working on. But you can let me know in the comments below what you guys think. And yeah, that's it for now. Just a little quick blip of Final Cut Pro on the iPad Pro. And personally, I would stay with LumaFusion or DaVinci Resolve. But let me know what you guys think, and hope this helps show you a teeny little bit about Final Cut Pro. I mean, I'm not getting into the multicam with this. I haven't played around. I haven't played around with the animate. Volume, of course, as I said. You got to make certain that when you do have this selected, the little cut and everything's going to disappear in the trash can. So just be aware that this program is kind of a differently laid out program. This is kind of nice though. On one last note, you can go ahead and draw something, hit done, and then you can do like a little live drawing. So that's kind of cool. So boom. So say you want to sign your name or something. God forbid I did that just now. I would say DaVinci Resolve wins and LumaFusion wins. So if I had a first or second or third, probably DaVinci Resolve is number one, LumaFusion is a close second, and Final Cut is probably a far back third. So that's it, guys. Aloha. Bye.